to Just My Cast. This is PCOS Picnic Talks, and today we have Jenny here, and we're gonna go over a few things. So don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Did you get diagnosed?
12 years old, very young. That's when I first got my period.
How did that make you feel?
So at first, I was confused because when they throw that term out there, PCOS, you're like, what the heck is that? Polycystic ovarian syndrome. What the heck is that? It's like, it still leaves you like, you don't know 100% of the answers, right?
Mhm.
And so when the doctor started explaining it, the only thing that stuck out in my head was, it might be really hard for you to have kids. And when they say that, it's like, you don't want to hear anything else.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. So I felt really sad. You know, I felt like my life was over. Like, I'm not going to be able to have kids. Who's going to want me like this? Like, those were the things that I was thinking about when I was 12. I mean, it sounds crazy, but you start thinking about your whole future because as a little girl, you're like, what is my future going to be like?
I mean, I didn't get diagnosed that early, but I've always had irregular periods. So what that basically was, there was a point in time, I believe, maybe I was like 13. I was bleeding for like a month and a half straight. I passed out.
Oh my God.
I got to the ambulance, went into the emergency room. I was in the children's, like the place in Hartford, and they're like trying to figure it out, like what was going on. And like the first thing that you hear that they always say is like, oh well, she might have difficulties like getting pregnant when she's older. And it's like, you're so young, like you're not even put in the place to think about it. It's thrown into your mind before you're even ready for it. And like with me, the doctors didn't even tell me. They were talking to my mom, and I was in the room like,
Yeah.
like okay.
Young age. I want to be a mom. I want to have kids. So I was very motherly from a young age.
Mhm.
So for them to tell me that, I saw like my future, and I'm like, no guy's gonna want me.
How did it make your mom feel?
My mom was very sad because I'm not gonna be able to have grandkids, you know, type of thing.
Yeah.
So for her, that's how she saw it, and I can see that she felt my pain as well. Like, I can see that she knew what I was feeling because she would see me. I would see people with their kids. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to have that.
Yeah.
So she felt sad for me as well.
Your doctor explained to you PCOS?
They did, but just being so young, it still didn't make sense. If that makes sense,
Okay.
you know, like I feel like, again, you mentioned, you were diagnosed when you were older, so it was probably easier in a sense to understand. But being so young and just understanding your periods alone and adding that as well just
Mhm.
made it even more complicated. It was just so confusing.
And then how did they explain it to you? If you can remember, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah, so the way they explained it to me was that my ovaries were creating cysts, and I had a imbalance of my hormones, and that would make it difficult for me to have kids.
Okay.
So just still trying to understand, how does your body create these hormones? How
Yeah.
does this happen? Like, do they go away by themselves? Like, you know, things
That
like
was a
that.
pretty good explanation.
Yeah.
I mean, even though you were young and like you didn't understand all the words that were put there,
Yeah.
but I think that was a pretty good explanation. And then, did you leave with an understanding? I think you kind of already answered that
Yeah, I
one.
was just kind of confused and shocked. Like, I didn't want to believe it, you know.
Yeah. Okay. What are your symptoms?
Just that rupture from time to time. Acne, lower abdominal pain. So like from time to time, I'll get like, I don't really get cramps. I'll get like shooting, stabbing pain. What else? Irregular periods. I still get that from time to time. And
You only need 2 out of 3 like symptoms that they do to like get diagnosed with PCOS.
No.
So the 3 main ones is like irregular periods or like absent periods.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is excess androgens, which is the male hormone,
Mm-hmm.
and the third one is the polycystic ovaries, which
Yeah.
you already said you have. So yours are period, the irregular and the cis.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's are irregular and excess androgens.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I was like, that's even crazy because like I did the last episode with my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
and she has PCOS too, but hers are like different. Like I guess like with everybody, like we all like consider to have it if you're diagnosed, but like everyone's so different with it. The 2 main things that like she could do to like actually get diagnosed and get the testing is a blood test and then the ultrasound.
Yeah.
Those are like to see where your blood levels and your hormones are at, and then the ultrasound, to see if there's actual cysts, because you won't know
Right.
until you go in there and see that stuff. How do you deal or manage with PCOS?
So I was on birth control, so that helped manage a lot of the symptoms. So like the acne, the regular periods, that helped. Um, Besides that, I try to live a active lifestyle. Eat healthy. I try to stay away from certain things, so that kind of helps it. But other than that, I feel like your body is still going to, your hormones are still going to be out of whack if you don't have that medication to try to control them. So I do what I can as far as like diet, exercise, trying to stay at a certain weight because they tell you, oh, you weigh, if you're overweight, that can increase your chances of getting this or that. So I try to, you know, keep my weight where it's supposed to be for the most part.
What do you do for your diet?
So as far as diet, I try to stay away from like fatty foods and stuff like that. My husband and I, we eat a lot of like quinoa.
Okay.
We try to stay away from rice. Like try to stay away from a lot of carbs. I love my pasta, not gonna lie, but that's what I try to do. Incorporate more vegetables. I never did that as a teenager. So now that I'm older, I incorporate more veggies.
It's like I be trying. I'm not gonna lie with the vegetables. I be trying, but like
I like them. Gotta put some sauce in them.
I feel like I'm still a kid because like I be like, yeah, I'll try it, and I'm like, nope, not
broccoli?
eating that.
Nah. I like broccoli. It's good.
And how would you explain what is PCOS?
So when I try to explain it to people that never heard it, because when I tell people, they're like, "What? What is that?" And it still surprises me.